So this month, Kid Kash and Trinity had a month.
Kid Kash is the worst pro wrestling character ever.
Well, he's meant to be. You're meant to hate him.
I'm not saying he's bad at it. I'm saying this guy is my least favorite pro wrestling character I've ever seen because I feel legitimately uncomfortable every time he's on the screen.
So the very first show of the month, May 7th, Trinity, Tracy, and Desire were meant to have a three-way match to qualify for the Anarchy in the Asylum Gauntlet. But Kid Kash had other ideas.
Oh, God.
Right before the match was meant to happen, Kid Kash came out and he was very angry at Trinity, who, once again, we must reiterate, he owns. He owns the contract of Trinity. He didn't want Trinity in the match, so he handcuffed her and violently dragged her away.
Like, it was so gross. It's so gross.
Like, he wasn't like, the comical wrestling drag her away. It's like,
get out here, blah, 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 blah.
Very forcefully, like, pushing her to the ground and forcefully dragging her out of the ring.
Garrett, he was throwing knees.
Yeah.
Like, this wasn't like, oh, I'm dragging you to the back. He was, like, beating the shit out of it.
Yeah. It was full-on domestic abuse, yes. Like, and it's meant to be read as domestic abuse as well.
Yeah. Well, as we'll see when it gets to the wrap-up of this, where he, after the payoff to them having their, like, faux match, he's like, I'm going to kill you. This isn't, like, the pro wrestling world storyline shit. This is just really gross, simulated domestic violence.
Yeah, so they even had Trinity to have a blood packet in her mouth, which she bit and went all over the place. So it wasn't shoot blood, at least. You were worried about that. It was worked blood.
Yeah, because it looked like it could have been.
But when you see it, because Tracy gets a bunch of it on her leg, and when you see it on Tracy's leg, it does look like overly, like, liquidous to be real blood.
Yeah, I don't know. That shit made me genuinely uncomfortable.
Yeah, because he beat the shit out of her.
It was not good.
Like, he was very, like, just violently physical with her in a way that's so deeply uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We talked about the segment where he offered Trinity services to sex.
Like, explicit, have sex with this woman that I own.
Mm-hmm. Kash faces Ron Killings on that same show. This is the May 14th show. Killings wins through interference from the masked luchador.
Who could it be?
Who continues to feud with Kash. Kash then has, like, a couple of weird segments. So Kash is backstage and Tracy Brooks walks in on him, and she's like, oh, I know a woman's place. You don't have to tell me. And Kash is like, oh, you do you? It's like, oh, yeah.
No, and she's like, I want to be treated like that.
And I was like, because I think so little of the NWA-TNA that I thought that was actually going to be her character.
Yes, I 100% thought that was going to be her character too.
I was like, oh, dear Lord, no. Why are you doing this? But in the rare defense of NWA-TNA, once Kash is lured in, Tracy then knees him in the nuts and starts laying boots into him.
And puts, like, Ben Gay on his dick.
Yeah.
Because, like, the whole bit is he's like, yeah, and she's like, yeah, I'll jerk you off. And then he's like, oh no.
It does not go well for Kid Kash. So then the following week, Kid Kash is preparing for this match, I think, again, the Trinity tag match, yeah. So, or is it, no, it's the last show of the month he does the thing with the nurse, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's before the singles match.
So we should talk about the
Tag.
Asylum Alliance tag match then, yes, so, which is Trinity and Kid Kash against Tracy and David Young.
And, of course, David Young at this whole point has been doing the will they, won't they stuff with Desire, and then he's teaming with Tracy, and Desire's pissed about him teaming with Tracy because she kind of likes him. And they have this really sweet brawl where Desire hangs off the roof and does a drop kick.
Yeah, there's the hanging from the ceiling, so she grabs it with both hands, pulls herself up, and kicks Tracy in the face.
It's dope.
It's very good.
And, like, the whole time, David Young wants to... Actually, that was the week after, wasn't it?
Yeah, this was the week after. But there's, like I said, there's so many interlocking stories here.
Yeah, okay. They have the match, all right? And then the week after, yeah, they have this segment where, because Tracy wanted to come to the backstage to talk to David Young because they won their match and they wanted to strategize. And so, yep, they go in, they beat up, they go to the ring, they start brawling in the ring. David Young comes out and eventually spine busters his tag team partner, Tracy, for his woman, Desire.
So we're saying that the Young and Tracy match against Kash and Trinity, Young and Tracy win after the masked luchador appears on the screen to distract Kid Kash, allowing Young and Tracy to pick up the victory.
With their cool distorted voice.
Ah, yes. Definitely a live thing that wasn't at all meant to throw you off thinking that the masked luchador is Trinity, because Trinity, of course, is still in the ring.
Yeah, it couldn't be.
So then, last show of the month, we have the segment backstage where a nurse walks in while Kid Kash is preparing for his match against the masked luchador.
a like over the top like slutty Halloween nurse.
And she's like, we need your checkup before the match, Kid Kash.
It's a new NWA-TNA thing.
There's actually a segment this month where you can see backstage on the wall during a Glingle Birdie promo, there's like a note being like the do's and don'ts. One of them is like, do not go near the announce table. I tried to get people on Twitter to translate it for me, but it's quite difficult. It's blurry.
I only deciphered the word wrestlers. So
it is about them, we have worked out. If we ever get 1080p versions of these shows, we'll be able to actually read it. It's like Grand Theft Auto Remastered. You can finally read what all the text is meant to say in the game. With many typos. But yes, this nurse is like, oh, we need to do a checkup here, Kid Kash, before our match. And Kid Kash is like, Trinity sent you here, didn't she?
Yeah, he's like, I'm not falling for this shit.
And then she's like, yes, but he gets kneed in the balls again and hit with a clipboard.
Yeah, is this like anyone of note?
Simply Luscious in Ring of Honor, does that ring a bell?
Ah, Simply Luscious.
She went by Veronica here.
She was Beau of Steve Corino.
There you go. So yeah, she knees Cash in the balls, and then Cash comes out to face the Masked Luchador.
Former member of fucking Daniel's group.
The Ministry.
Yeah, sure.
You're the Ring of Honor guy. Why are you saying sure?
Yeah, sure. And then like either on screen or off screen, like girlfriend of Punk for a bit, and then like Punk gets beat up. It's a whole thing.
Cool.
Every woman that was in Ring of Honor was just dating someone and then getting beaten up to further a storyline.
Which is not entirely dissimilar from the NWA-TNA.
Yes, not wrong.
So Kid Kash comes out nursing his balls as he faces the Masked Luchador, who is revealed to be... It's Trinity, Liam.
What the fuck?
Even though it was very clearly not Trinity at the beginning.
Yes.
They have a frankly horrendous match.
Why did Trinity fuck over Jerry Lynn?
And Amazing Red.
Yeah, what the fuck, Trinity?
Like, she helped Red win the belt from Cash, but then beat up Red.
Yeah, Trinity, what's going on?
And then for some reason helped, as you said, Red beat Jerry Lynn for reasons. I don't know.
Who knows?
But yeah, this match, really bad.
Yeah, awful. Just real disjointed. Trinity looked really bad here. Maybe it was because she was wrestling in a fucking full bodysuit. Yeah, just bad. Real bad. Bad. Like, maybe the worst match.
It might be. It might be the worst match of TNA. This match is horrendous. Like, everything they did looked bad. It's the worst Trinity ever looked. Trinity tries to do a moonsault. She completely misses.
The crowd wanted to get into this, but every time they did a spot, they were like, oh.
Yeah, I have never seen a match where they, like, fucked everything up. Like, everything.
Yeah.
Every single move in this match, they screwed up. Every Rana, every moonsault, everything looked bad. And it's the worst Trinity's looked. It's the worst Kid Kash has looked. And, like, Trinity's look good in these situations. If you remember the triple threat with Trinity, Red, and Cash, that ruled.
Yeah. Every time she appeared in the multi-man stuff, she's pretty great. Even in the singles match.
Was it Desire or Alexis? She might have wrestled both.
It was Alexis. I think it was Alexis, the one I'm referring to. Even in the singles match, like that shit was great after they had a really wonky tag match.
Oh, yeah, and she did that cool kick it. She did the standing shooting star.
Yeah.
And then she has this match with Cash, which is the blow-off to their big feud. And it stinks. It's horrific.
Is it the blow-off? Because Cash wins.
He sure does.
He wins this match.
Even though he was kneading the balls right before the match.
You can't do a domestic abuse storyline and then have the guy win.
It's like WrestleMania in 2003 all over again, where you do the big racist story and then the racist wins.
Thus proving the point. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Cash wins and then is like, I'm going to kill you.
Yep.
Which is like, oh, great.
It's a happy ending we all wanted to this story. It might continue next month.
Awful.
I don't remember. Maybe it does.
Awful.
The story has been going for like 3 months now, and I do want it to be over.
I wanted it to be over from the minute Cash started kneeing her in the head.
I wanted it to be over much earlier than that, to be fair, but then we would have never gotten the knee in the head match. Or moment.
It's all rough.